It's been a long time, everyone. Had not made a video in for so long. I just wanted to make a video to kind of get caught up on a lot of things, and that I really wanted to talk about the Xbox One X. Been waiting a long time for the Xbox One X to come out. It's finally here. I never had an opportunity to play it right when it came out, but I was able to sit down with it for a few games. Got to play some NHL 2018, got to play some Call of Duty, some Skyrim. So I really didn't put it to a lot of testing and a lot of the Juggernaut games, but what I've played, I have to say I'm highly impressed. The thing that I thought was most amazing about the new Xbox One X was that the size of it is so small. Comparing it to the old original Xbox that I had and having them side by side, I'm thinking, holy crap, I thought it'd be smaller, but definitely not that small. And the reason why I'm so blown away by this is because I've never had the opportunity to see an Xbox One S. I almost bought one, and I thought, you know what, I think I'll wait to buy the Xbox One X. I don't think I want to shell out that much more money because I know that there's a better Xbox that's just around the corner. Some people that I know didn't want to wait. They want to have the 4K upscaling for Netflix and whatnot, and that's fine, but for me, I could wait. I watch Netflix in 4K on my TV already, so for me to have to upgrade to an S and to upgrade to an X, I just didn't think it was worthwhile. So, again, the size. Just showing the photos here, side by side, I'm just absolutely blown away that Microsoft was able to cram that much power into such a small case. Xbox, and for the 360, it was one of those things where they had such a nightmare due to heat and due to some failure of the design, and I believe they lost, it was $1 billion in having to have all these Xbox that were faulty shipped back and repaired when they had the red ring of death. When Xbox One came out, it truly was a box, and it was a lot larger than I thought it would be, especially in comparison with the PlayStation 4, but that's fine because they wanted to have good heat flow and they wanted to have heat that could get out of the system so they wouldn't have a repeat of the red ring of death. Then they got with the S, which is smaller, which we've always seen these trends where systems start out to be big and then they get smaller and smaller. So seemed like they had the design down pat and they knew that they would go to a smaller system. Again, I just am blown away that they were able to cram so much into such a small form. Especially the one thing that I absolutely love is that the power cables or power supply is inside the Xbox. I thought that was a huge miss with the Xbox One. Not to say that it's a huge deal breaker because it isn't. Again, that's just something that you need to have extra space for when you hook up your system. So one thing I have to say that, I am a little bit sorry that I was delayed with a lot of my videos lately. And I was absolutely just about to create my video, and then I had a little bit of a delay due to some of my animals wanting to lay on the box, which is fine. And I guess that's a worthwhile delay because I didn't want to disturb them. So about a half hour later, they moved on their own, and I was good to go. I did buy the Scorpio edition, and I thought that the design would be a little bit different, which it is. Am I 100% struck on it? It's alright, Not that I tried to get the Scorpio edition. It was just the fact that when I went to order it, I thought that was just the normal Xbox One. And when I bought it, I heard that there was a special edition Xbox that was limited, and then the normal Xbox One X would be rolled out a couple of weeks later. So if you didn't get an Xbox One Scorpio, it's not huge of a difference. The one thing that it does come with is a stand that lets it go vertical, which I really like that touch. I believe that the other ones don't have that, and I think that's a little bit of a miss from Microsoft because to have the stand with the system really enhances the fact that it is a very small system and that you can fit it anywhere. I did use my other Xbox One on a vertical stand. I know a lot of people said that wasn't a great idea, but that's all I did. I've done that since day one, and my Xbox has been running absolutely great. So for the games, NHL 2018, it looks cleaner, it looks crisper, and I think that is exactly why I bought the Xbox One X, and it loads a lot faster. Am I blown away by the graphics on NHL even when it first came out? No, I'm not. Does it make that much of a big difference with the Xbox One X? No, it doesn't. It ran smoothly and it looked great on the original Xbox, and to upgrade to an Xbox One X For sports games, I feel that it wouldn't be such a big upgrade. Call of Duty World War II. I guess I could get those mixed up. They're fairly similar. I played that on 4K first, and I didn't really do a comparison with it on non-Xbox One X. So I played it for probably about 3.5 hours, and I played it at 4K, and I'm like, it looks good. Again, it wasn't mind-blowing to me, but it ran great. I thought it was definitely powerful enough that with the way that the game ran, with everything that was going on, the frame rate didn't drop, which I thought, okay, there must be a difference on the Xbox One original. So when I hooked it up on my original Xbox and then played a couple of rounds on Xbox One, it's night and day. I couldn't believe the downgrade. It looked pixelated. The shadow quality was really crappy. The way that the assets loaded in were really blurry, and it just didn't seem like the original Xbox was properly catching up. The game would load, and you would start a match, but if you kind of look around you and you see the textures and that, they don't look all that crisp. And again, the shadowing blew my mind. The explosions from grenades and the smoke was extremely pixelated. So obviously there's some resolution being juggled there, I believe, to capture the 60 frames per second. But on the Xbox One X, it's just an absolute treat to look at. Loads perfect. The smoke, the graphics, the fire with the flamethrowers, it all looks great. It pops. Very colorful, very bright. Halo was another game that I played a lot of Halo Online when I played on the original Xbox. And a lot of people didn't really like the way that Halo looked on Halo 1. I thought Halo 5 looked great. Obviously, the frame rate and some of the things were a little bit different. How things in the distance had to be scaled, and it had scaling resolution. So sometimes when you're in a heavy firefight, it looks kind of blurry. And whatever, it's fine. 60 frames is great. That's what I want in a shooting game. So when I played Halo 5 for the first time on the Xbox One X, I don't think I can ever go back to playing it on the original Xbox. The graphics popped, the resolution was great, the game ran fantastic. Obviously, there's still some of that frame rate stuff in the distance that if you look at a character in a long way away, that the frame rate kind of drops on those characters. I was a little bit surprised to see that. I didn't think that would have been the expectation with the One X. But overall, seeing the grenades explode, it almost seems like Halo 5 was rebuilt from the ground up to be enhanced on the Xbox One X. By far, that's not the case. I think that what they've done was a phenomenal job, and I think it will breathe a lot of life back into Halo 5. It didn't matter, I played a lot of Halo 5 anyways, but I think that right now, the way that the Xbox One X is more intriguing. Don't get me wrong, seeing new games like the Shadow of Mordor come out and taking a lot of the power of the Xbox One X and making it look better is a really big deal, and that's what people want the system for. For me, I was more excited to get the Xbox One X and look at some of the old games. I mean, I want to see how The Witcher runs. I want to see how Final Fantasy 15 runs. I want to see how Forza runs. I want to see how Fallout runs. And I do have a PlayStation Pro, and those games, such as Fallout, looks really good on the Pro. But again, I'm really excited to see how it's going to look on the Xbox One X. Looking at Skyrim, it loads great. It looks great. I mean, Skyrim still looks beautiful for being a game that came out in 2011. And the Xbox X breathes a little bit more life into that game. But obviously, it's not a huge upgrade because, again, it's the same textures, but the draw distance is better. The loading is faster. And again, it's just a more enjoyable game playing it on the Xbox One X. So, is it worth it? All depends on what your market is. You need to have a 4K TV. You need to have a bit of money left over in the bank account, because if you already have an Xbox One and you need to shell out here in Canada $5.99 for another system, just for right now some slight upgrades to some moderate upgrades, to me, if you have a little bit of extra cash, it's well worth it, because eventually you will be upgrading to a 4K TV if you have not already. Games will take advantage of that. I haven't tried the Xbox One X in 1080p mode, but I hear it looks just as fantastic because everything from the 4K is downscaled and it looks great. Would you want to get that strictly for a 1080p TV? Probably not. I don't think I would. But for me, I was an early adopter to 4K, and it was one of those things where I felt that I really robbed myself because there wasn't something that really took advantage of it. So when the PlayStation Pro came out, I thought, hey, great example to try 4K. And then when the Xbox One X came out, great example to play video games in 4K. The image just looks great. So one other thing, there's always a downfall when there's upgrades, and I'm an avid streamer, and I love to stream on Twitch. And now with the upgrades, I don't use the systems themselves to do my Twitch streaming. I always use my computer as a third party. And one of the things was I was finding that things were getting really expensive for 4K capture cards. And there was the Blackmagic or whatever it was called, and it was about $1,000. There was one for $899 that I felt that it was still a little bit overpriced, and it only did about 30 frames. But again, to capture video in 4K takes a lot of muscle from a computer as well as one hefty internet connection. So I did a little bit of research and I wanted to see what was out there. And Elgato obviously is making a capture card that does 4K, and that's coming out November 21st. And I'm really excited. One thing I'm a little bit not so excited for is that I'll probably have to upgrade my computer to do 4K. But again, if I can do still my 1080 and stream 1080 to Twitch, but use the pass through the stream 4K on my TV, I'm fine. But again, it's an upgrade. Obviously, I need to get a bit with the times. I can't be halfway there. But one thing I did find, now that the Elgato isn't out, but AverMedia released what is called a 4K little box here, the Portable 2 Plus. This is the GC513. So it probably looks familiar. There's already another one, but doesn't do 4K pass-through. It was $375 Canadian, which again, that's a lot of money, I know, but one thing that I like is that it is third party, so I can pick this up and go. So if I want to move this out to my living room, my man cave, you name it, take it to a buddy's house, that's basically what AverMedia wants to do. They want you to be streaming on the go, portability on the go, which is the big thing now. Everything wants to be portability. But again, you'll want to have your buddy to have an Xbox One or PlayStation Pro, whatever. So I did pick it up. I haven't opened it yet. I will be trying it out probably in the next half hour. Hopefully it's not a pain in the butt. I'm very familiar with AverMedia products. I've used AverMedia for a long time, and they are extremely well done. I did switch, however, to Elgato HD60 Pro, and again, beautiful product, works extremely well. So for me, having to do an upgrade, it's not just the upgrade of the Xbox. It's not just the upgrade of your PlayStation Pro and all that stuff that goes to 4K. There's obviously extra associated, or what I like to call hidden costs with things to really get the full advantage of what you're upgrading to. So if you do capturing or video capture for YouTube and or Twitch, you'll need to upgrade as well. And again, for the price of admission, for this, like I said, $375, and for my HD Pro 4K that I pre-ordered, that came to $575. So again, it's not just the Xbox if you want to get into the next generation of gaming. 4K TVs have come down in price. You can get a decent one for about $500, so that's not a big thing. And again, the games seem to keep going up in price, and that's fine. But to get the new and best things, you gotta pay for it. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and I'll give a little bit more information on how I feel about the Xbox One X in a week's time. And as well, I'm going to try this AverMedia out today, do a little bit of Twitch streaming, and I'll update with a video probably within half a day, 10 hours, 12 hours, we'll see what happens. But hope you enjoyed the video. Have any comments, please let me know. And if there's anything that you want to see or know and how it runs on the Xbox One X, send me a message. I'll let you know. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.